Okay, so today I'm live from New Jersey, USA. I hope everyone's doing well. I know it's Children's Day, so happy Children's Day. I know it's very different this year. We're all celebrating inside, but I hope you can find ways to make it fun. Okay, so today we're going to talk about American idioms and slang to help you sound like a native and also to help you listen, your listening skills, to help you understand a little bit. Let's see. Okay. So if you are at a social event and maybe it's loud and you can hear what some people are saying, sometimes it's hard if you're trying to literally translate everything. So maybe you hear someone talk about killing two birds or barking up a tree, or it sounds like someone's been stabbed in the back. What's going on? You scratch your head and wonder why you're still lost, even though you can translate those words. Right? You've been working hard, you've learned a lot of vocabulary, so you might know those words, but you don't understand what they mean. Let me see. Okay, so you've just had your first introduction to English idioms. So what is an idiom? English idioms are groups of words which have meaning that aren't obvious from looking at each word. Even if you translate the words, you don't know the meaning. So they've developed over time and they could seem very random or strange. They often rely on analogies and metaphors. So what's an analogy and a metaphor? Those are comparisons between two different things. Okay, so because they're used so often in everyday English and you don't know them, it would be impossible for you to understand from the context. So you really have to learn these phrases and memorize what they mean so that you can understand them. And learning these common everyday English idioms will help you to fit in most situations. And every languages have them. Okay, so the key to understanding English idioms is to never look at them or read them in a literal sense. Okay, once you unlock the secrets of idiomatic English language, then you'll have cracked the code. Okay, let's look at some common American idioms and proverbs that would be confusing if you translated them literally. Okay, hit the books. Has anyone heard hit the books? Has anyone heard of this one? Okay, I'm looking for the comments. Okay, so hit the books, right? We think of hit, right? So if we're hitting a book, but that's not the actual meaning. Sorry, but I can't watch the game with you tonight. I have to hit the books. I have a huge exam next week. So what do you think that could mean? Doesn't mean to actually hit a book, right? Does anyone know what that means? I'll take a look. Anyone? Yeah, it means to study. Okay, so if you have to hit the books, you have to study. Okay, so everyone should be hitting the books, right? We're quarantined. You should be taking this time to maybe study your English. Okay, so hit the books. Okay. How about hit the hay? It's time for me to hit the hay. I'm so tired. So what could this mean? Do we know what hay is? Hay is like dry grass. Feed it to animals sometimes. So we wouldn't be hitting hay. Doesn't make any sense, right? But if we look at the other picture, we see hitting the hay means to go to sleep. So you say, oh, I'm so tired. It's time for me to hit the hay. We're going to sleep. Okay? And you might have some of these idioms or something similar in your native language. So it's interesting to think if you have something similar and how that would translate. Okay. Twist my arm. So we see, right, we know arm. So twist my arm. So let's look at this conversation and see if you can guess. Jake, you should really come to the party tonight. You know I can't. I have to study. Come on, you have to come. It's going to be so much fun, and there are going to be lots of girls. Please come. Pretty girls? Oh, all right. You've twisted my arm. I'll come. So, did he really twist his arm physically? No. So, what does that mean? Twisted my arm. Anyone guess? Yeah, it means to convince. So if you twist my arm, oh, you convinced me. You talked me into it. Now I know, okay, I'll do it. You twisted my arm. Okay? Up in the air. So this is another one. It cannot be literally translated, right? We know up, we know air. So if something's up in the air, that wouldn't be translated literally. Let's look at the conversation and see if we can try to guess. Jen, have you set a date for the wedding? Not exactly. Things are still up in the air, and we're not sure if our families can make it on the day we wanted. Hopefully we'll know soon, and we'll let you know as soon as possible. So, up in the air. What do you think? Any guesses for up in the air? It means it's undecided. So if something's up in the air, you still haven't decided. Okay? So they're talking about their plans and their date for the wedding. Do you have a date? No, we're not sure, right? They're still deciding that. So it's up in the air. Okay, if you have a decision to make and maybe you're thinking of different ideas, you would say those ideas are still up in the air because they haven't been decided yet. Okay? So up in the air, undecided. So this one sounds kind of crazy, and I know I've spoken to other students, and I know there are some similar idioms in other languages for this one. So maybe you have something similar in your language. Stab someone in the back. So we know this is someone's back, and we know to stab, maybe with a knife. Okay, so this is very violent. Stab someone in the back. It can sound crazy. Did you hear that Sarah stabbed Kate in the back last week? Right? That sounds crazy. No, I thought they were best friends. What did she do? She told their boss that Kate wasn't interested in a promotion at work and Sarah got it instead. Wow, that's the ultimate betrayal. No wonder they're not friends anymore. So from this conversation, do you think you can guess what it means to stab someone in the back? Or maybe you have something similar, a similar idiom in your language? Okay, let's see. Let's check and see if anybody has any responses to that. What do you think? Stabbed in the back. It means to betray someone. So usually you use this if it's someone that's close to you, a friend or a coworker, someone that you know, and if you do something to wrong them, to betray them. Without them knowing, you've stabbed them in the back. So if we think of someone looking the other way, they're not looking, and you stab them in the back, they didn't even see it coming. Okay, so to stab someone in the back is to betray someone. So does anyone have that in their language? Anything similar for this one? Okay. Sit tight. Okay, so we know sitting, right? And we know something tight. It's the opposite of loose, right? When we see tight. So let's read this and see if we can try to guess what sit tight means. Mrs. Carter, do you have any idea when the exam results are going to come out? Who knows, Johnny? Sometimes they come out quickly, but it could take some time. You're just going to have to sit tight and wait. Sit tight I also use if I'm talking to my children. I'll tell them, please, sit tight, sit tight. Okay, so what do you think this could mean? Sit tight. Or maybe you have something similar in your language and you can translate it. It means to be patient. Okay, have patience. So it doesn't really mean to sit tight. It just means to have patience. Okay. Pitch in or chip in. Okay, we can say both of these. They're very, very common. So let's look at this conversation and we can see if we can guess. Okay. What are you going to buy Sally for her birthday? I don't know. I don't have much money. Maybe we can all pitch in and buy her something great. So what do you think? Pitch in or chip in. Okay. We often use this if maybe you're going out to eat with a few friends and the bill comes and you've all had something. So instead of one person paying the bill, you all pitch in to help. Okay. So it means to contribute. If you're going to pitch in or chip in, you're going to contribute. And it doesn't have to just mean money, but you can, if you're in a situation at work, maybe a big project you have to do, and a lot of people are going to help with it, everyone can pitch in to make a big job a small job. Okay, let's all pitch in and help. Let's all chip in and help. So it can be used for money or it can be used for work or effort. Okay, pitch in. So it means to contribute. Okay. This one also sounds a little crazy. To go cold turkey, right? What? So we know this animal, right? This bird, this large bird we have in America, it's a turkey. So a cold turkey does sound crazy. So this one might be a little bit more difficult to guess, but let's look at this conversation and see. Shall I get your mom a glass of wine? No, she's stopped drinking. Really? Why? I don't know. A few months ago, she just announced one day she's quitting drinking. She just quit cold turkey. Yes, just like that. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think? Cold turkey. I'll give you a minute to guess. I'm going to try to check the chats. Okay. You can try and think of cold turkey. Okay. Okay, so cold turkey. So one day she just announced she's quitting drinking. She quit cold turkey. So if you're going to go cold turkey on something, you suddenly give it up. You've suddenly quit. Okay? So maybe you don't want to eat meat anymore. Okay? You want to become a vegetarian or a vegan. So you can do it gradually and slowly give something up, or you can give something up very, very suddenly. So if you're giving something up very suddenly, go cold turkey. One day you eat meat, tomorrow, none at all. Go cold turkey. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for everyone. It's just a sudden stop of something, suddenly giving something up. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's look at another one. This one is also a little difficult, so let's see if we can read this and see if we can guess it. Face the music. Okay, so we know face, right? We know our face. And to face is also a verb. So if we're going to face something, we're looking at it. So I can face the wall. I can face the computer. Okay, so this term, face the music. I can't understand why I failed math. You know you didn't study hard, so you're going to have to face the music and take the class again next semester if you really want to graduate when you do. Face the music I also use if maybe my child didn't do their homework and they come to me right before school. Mom, I forgot to do my homework. Oh well, you have to just go to school and face the music. Okay? You can use this if you made a mistake at work and you have to go see your boss or your manager and tell them that you made a mistake. So what do you think face the music could mean? Any guesses? Hmm? Okay. Any guesses for this? You can type it in the chat. I think I can see the chat now. Okay. So what do you think face the music could mean? Anyone? You can try to put it into words. It means to accept responsibility or to accept the consequences of your actions. So if you do something, usually we talk about it in a negative way. So if you do something wrong or negative and you have to face the consequences, you have to accept the responsibility of what you've done, we say you have to face the music. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to everyone. This one's very popular. I think we say this all the time. Okay? On the ball. Does anyone have anything similar? Anyone have anything similar to on the ball? Let's look at the conversation and we'll see if we can guess. Wow, you've already finished your assignments? They're not due until next week. You're really on the ball. I wish I could be more organized. Okay, so what do you think on the ball is? And I like that picture, right? We've got the girl balancing on the ball, right? What do you think? Any guesses? It means you're attentive or alert, usually someone very organized, is on the ball, right? And even if we see this girl balancing literally on a ball, we know she has to be paying attention, right? So she doesn't fall. She has to stay balanced, right? So she has to be very attentive if she's going to not fall down. So we usually use on the ball when we're talking about someone that's very organized, okay, energetic, almost energetic, but on the ball, you really want to be someone who's very efficient, usually at work or at school. Yeah, to be quick to understand and react to things. That's good, definitely. So if you have someone that you work with and they're on the ball, that's a good person to have near you, right? So they can always react quickly. They can get everything taken care of. They're on the ball. Good. So we could say they're attentive, alert, quick to respond to things. How about rings a bell? I think this is another one that's common in other languages other than English. Okay, so if you have something similar, let me know in the chat. You've met my friend Amy Adams, right? I'm not sure, but that name rings a bell. Was she the one who went to Paris last year? So her name rings a bell. Okay, we know what a bell is, right? We can see in the picture the bell. Okay, we can also have a doorbell, so it makes ding dong. But what do we mean here if it rings a bell? It sounds similar. You think you've heard it before? Yeah, that you remember it somewhere? Absolutely. It's something that sounds familiar, something you think you've heard before. Yeah, it sounds familiar to me. Okay, good. Rule of thumb. So does everyone know that vocabulary word, that this is our thumb? Okay, does everyone know that? Our thumb? Hi, Melissa. I see you just said hello. So everyone knows this is our thumb, and everyone knows what a rule is, right? A rule is like a law or a guideline that we follow. So a rule of thumb. Let's see if we can figure it out. As a rule of thumb, I always read my emails twice before sending them. Okay, so this is something that I do so that I don't make mistakes. So I always read my emails twice. It's a rule of thumb. Anybody have anything similar or can guess the meaning of this one? What do you think? Rule of thumb. Anyone? This one's kind of hard. Yep, you want to be sure everything is right. Definitely. So, it's a guideline or a rule, and it's based on common sense or practice because you've done it before. So maybe I've sent an email with a terrible error in it or spelling mistakes, and I don't want to do that again. So for me, it's a rule that I just always read them twice before I send them. Okay, it's my rule of thumb. Okay, so it's just something based on common sense or experience or practice. Okay, hope that makes sense. Yeah, principle. Okay, under the weather. So everyone knows the vocabulary word weather, right? So we know it's sunny, it's windy, it's rainy, it's hot, it's cold. But if you're under the weather, that doesn't really make sense literally. Okay, so let's see. What's wrong with Katie, Mom? She's feeling a little under the weather. So be quiet and let her rest. So what do we think? Under the weather. What do we think? What's under the weather? Yeah, you're right. Yep, absolutely. Feeling not normal, to feel sick. Okay, oh, I don't feel well. I'm under the weather. Okay, so if you're just not feeling right, you're under the weather. Okay, yeah, it could be being exhausted. Anything if you don't feel good or you just don't feel right, you're under the weather. So maybe if someone invites you out to a party, you could say, oh, I'm a little under the weather. I don't think I can go. Okay? Does anyone have that similar saying, under the weather, if it's translated literally? Anyone have an idiom in their language? Let's see if anybody has anything. Yeah, low spirits. Okay. Here's another one. Blow off steam. Okay. I wonder if anyone has this one. So, do we know the word steam? If something is very, very hot, maybe if you're boiling water or you're heating food and you can see the smoke, that's the steam. It can burn you. It's very, very hot. Okay, so if you were cooking and you had some very, very hot food, you might blow off the steam. That would be the literal definition, right? If you would blow off the steam, the heat from the food. So let's look at, vent. Yep, I can send this as a PDF, sure. Okay, so let's see if we can see blow off steam. Why is Nick so angry? And where did he go? He had a fight with his brother, so he went for a run to blow off steam. Okay, so to blow off steam is usually something you do to vent. So sometimes you go for a run, sometimes you can listen to music, to get rid of pent-up energy. Oh, you have that in your language? Yeah, strong emotion. Yeah, so usually we use it for not just any emotion, but we use it for anger to blow off steam. Yeah, to get yourself calm. So to calm down. Oh, I need to blow off steam, right? Some people, maybe you go for a walk, maybe you watch TV or play a video game or exercise, right? What are some ways that you blow off steam? What are some things that you could do? Me, I like to go for a run. If I'm feeling angry about something, I'll go for a run and then I'll feel a little bit better. It'll help me to calm down. Anyone else? Any examples? Anything you might do if you're feeling really angry or frustrated? Yeah, and you could play sports. That's a great one. What sports do you play? Maybe tennis would be a good one to blow off some steam, right? Anything you can hit something with, maybe? Soccer, kicking the ball, right? That could be a good one. Listening to music. Yeah, a lot of people enjoy listening to music to help blow off steam. It puts their mind someplace else, right? Yeah, terrific. Okay, so blow off steam, calm down, okay? Look like $1,000,000. And I put dollars in case you didn't know the word bucks. Bucks is a slang that we use for dollars or money. Okay, so if you look like $1,000,000, $1,000,000 is a lot of money, right? $1,000,000. Wow, Mary, you look like $1,000,000 this evening. I love your dress. What do you think? If you look like $1,000,000, how do you look? Yeah, You look expensive, stunning. Yeah. Is this similar in any other languages? Because I would think that this one might translate a little bit better. Do you have anything similar? Mm-hmm. Yeah, brilliant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you look like $1,000,000, your appearance is excellent. Okay, and it could be expensive, but it could just be something really good. It could just be like, wow, you look so good. You look like $1,000,000. Okay. All right. So, yeah, somebody, shoot the breeze is another idiom. Sure. So, shoot the breeze. And let's see, I was going to type it, but so we know shoot like a gun, and we know breeze is like the wind. So if you're going to shoot the breeze, it's actually to have just an informal conversation. We call it small talk. Shoot the breeze. So if you're just going to have a conversation with somebody, you just shoot the breeze with them. Okay? Small conversations. Okay? Informal. Maybe nothing too important. Good. Okay. All right. Now, a little challenge. Here, I want you to see if you can match up the idiom with a definition. Okay? So, number 1, hit the hay. See if we can remember. We'll see how much you remember. Okay? So 1, G, yep, go to sleep. Yep. So hit the hay is to go to sleep. Good. How about number 2, up in the air? Does anybody remember up in the air? Remember, to literally translate it was up in the air. Yeah, A, undecided. Good. So if you haven't made a decision, you're up in the air. Okay. Where will you go for vacation this year? I don't know. It's up in the air. Okay. You haven't decided yet. How about number 3? Rule of thumb. Rule of thumb. Yep, number 3. Rule of thumb is a guideline based on common sense, right? So I said my rule of thumb, I like to read my emails before I send them, right? I read them again before I send them. That's just my rule of thumb, okay? It's a guideline based on experience or common sense. And number 4, blow off steam. So many answers. You all remember them. That's great. So 4, blow off steam. Yeah, to calm down when angry. Okay, right? So we talked about different ways we could blow off steam, right? And we know the literal definition would be for hot food and you blow off the steam. Okay, and the idiom, the definition is to cool off when you're angry. Right? Because sometimes you feel angry, you feel hot, you have to cool off. Good. Number 5, look like $1,000,000. Look like $1,000,000. Yeah, E. Appearance is excellent, right? Wow, you look like $1,000,000. You look really great, really fantastic. Okay, that's terrific. All right, number 6, hit the books. What do you think? Hit the books, number 6. Yeah, F, study. So if you're going to hit the books, you have to study. okay? Hit the books, right? We talked about literal as hitting. We're not actually hitting books, right? We're studying. Oh, I need to hit the books. And usually it means studying very hard, okay? You have to study a lot. Maybe you have an exam for school. You have to hit the books, study, okay? Number 7, on the ball, right? We want to work with someone who's on the ball, and we want to be on the ball, right? So what's on the ball? Number 7. Yeah, B, someone who's attentive, alert, organized, right? They react quickly and efficiently for things, okay? Yeah, terrific. Okay, got another page. All right, how about here? Number 1, rings a bell. Do we remember rings a bell? Remember, ding dong, rings a bell. Yeah, sounds familiar. Say, oh, that name rings a bell, right? I know I've heard it before. Okay, it sounds familiar. It sounds like something I know. It reminds me. It rings a bell. Okay, cold turkey, right? That one sounds very silly. Cold turkey. Who remembers what cold turkey means? Yeah, cold turkey is A, to suddenly give something up, to suddenly stop, right? So the example I used was for not eating meat, right? If you want to be a vegetarian, you could stop gradually, or cold turkey, stop right away. Today I eat meat, tomorrow cold turkey, no more. Okay? How about number 3, pitch in or chip in? Anyone? Number 3? Do you remember pitch in? Yeah, it's B, to contribute. And remember, we can pitch in or chip in our money to maybe buy someone a big gift. If everyone puts a little money, you can buy someone a big special gift. Or if you're out to dinner and you have a big expensive dinner, if everyone pays a little money, you chip in a little money, it's not so much. Or you can chip in or pitch in to help with something. So with your effort. So if you have a big project, or if you're building something, anything at work where it's a lot of work, if you have a lot of people to help, put in a little bit, everyone pitches in, it makes it a much smaller job. Okay. And number 4, face the music. What do you think? Face the music? Yeah. So face the music is G, accept responsibility or consequences. So if you do something negative, something wrong, you make a mistake, you have to accept the consequences that come from that. So I use the example of my child not doing their homework for school. They have to go and see their teacher, right? Accept the responsibility. Okay. Let's see. Sit tight, right? We know sitting, sit tight. What do we have for number 5? Sit tight. Anybody remember sit tight? Yeah. Be patient. Okay. So, and you can picture that if you're waiting for something, maybe you're very fidgety. Oh, I can't wait. But if you sit tight, you're being very patient. You're waiting. Okay, sit tight. Okay. Number 6, stab in the back. What do you think, number 6? Stab in the back? Yeah. Betray. So to stab in the back usually means to betray someone close to you, someone that trusts you. If you break a trust, you betray someone, you do wrong without them seeing, right? So they don't expect it, and you stab them in the back to betray them. Okay, good. And under the weather. Do you remember under the weather? Number 7, under the weather. Yeah, E. So you don't feel well, right? You're sick or tired, you're under the weather, you just don't feel right. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about any of these idioms or any of the vocabulary words that we learned? Because there might be a word in one of these idioms or in the definition that wasn't familiar to you, that you didn't know. So does anyone want me to explain anything or define any of the words here? Any questions about any of that vocabulary? You got it? All right, good. Okay, so let's take a 15-minute break and we'll come back at about 12 o'clock. And when we come back, we're going to talk about informal contractions and word blending. Okay, and I know that sounds really pretty fancy, and it's not. It's just so to help you with your listening skills and your speaking skills. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the idioms. If you think of any questions during this 15 minutes, just let me know when we come back, okay? All right, so I'll see you all in 15 minutes.